Live at 6.
We begin tonight with some new information on a car dealership that some say takes advantage of its customers. We've done several stories over the months on Catalyst Motors, which is being investigated by the Fargo Police Department.
Now, Valley News Team's Bradford Eric tells us the latest that's going on with this ongoing situation. He joins us now. Bradford?
Stephanie, the Fargo police did confirm to me they are investigating Catalyst Motors in relation to illegal title transfers, among other things. We've brought you many stories about this South Fargo auto dealership, from a single father having his truck repossessed to a car bought under previous ownership bursting into flames on the interstate, and most recently an irate customer who had his car taken back.
This stuff got to stop. This stuff got to stop, or else somebody is going to get killed, because somebody crazy going to come out here and shoot this guy. I'm not going to be the one to do it, but somebody going to do it, okay?
We asked Tom Hoos, a consultant for Catalyst Motors, if he had a response to the investigation by the Fargo Police Department. He hung up the phone.
When they only had, say, $300 and nobody else would work with them, we got them in a car that got them to work.
Tom did sit down and talk with me some months back. Now, Fargo police have been back here twice already this week. I did talk to some of the other businesses near Catalyst Motors, and they can't believe how often the police are called. They said it's hurting their business now, and customers don't want to come here. Reporting live in South Fargo, Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
Bradford, thank you for that report. Now, we tried contacting the state of North Dakota Division of Motor Vehicles, who are also keeping close tabs on Catalyst Motors, but they could not be reached for comment.
There's debate in the Valley over how law enforcement should use drones. Last night we told you about a state law allowing the use of weaponized drones. North Dakota is the first state to allow local law enforcement to fly drones using non-lethal weapons like pepper spray or certain tasers. West Fargo's police chief told us that there aren't many departments across the state trying to use drones, and none that he knows of wants to use them with weapons.
Some in law enforcement felt that there are tactical situations, such as SWAT callouts, where the ability to use a drone to dispense pepper spray where a suspect is hidden would be a good use. We don't know what the future holds for other types of non-lethal weapons, so we felt that we just needed to leave a door open so that we could deploy those assets as they're available.
Right now, only Grand Forks is approved by the FAA to use drones. A spokesperson says that it's mostly for work with the university and other learning opportunities.
Our run of nice weather continues. Current conditions are just what Bison fans were hoping for as they gather for a block party tonight. Hutch is one of the Valley News Live crew that's there, and he joins us from Shields Sports with more. Hutch?
I got to tell you, Stephanie, the weather couldn't be more delightful out here at Shields in South Fargo as we all celebrate the Bison's attempt for a 5-peat. A lot to be excited about here. Karen Olson joins me now from Shields. Tell us what's going on here tonight.
So we're having a kickoff party for Bison football, if you will. We've got the front fenders playing in the background. We've got food. We've got games galore, inflatables. We've got Corso, the live Bison mascot. We're having a lot of fun and getting ready for football season.
Shields and the whole state of North Dakota behind the Bison, getting ready for that attempt at 5. You can't have a shirt that says, repeat champions or 3-peat champions or 4-peat champions. We gotta, get more hardware and support our team.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on in if you're going to be making that trek to Montana. Maybe you're starting early tomorrow morning. We're open till 9. Come on out, grab the latest and greatest. This is the best time to shop for Bison gear.
All right, and it's a fun time out here, and I can smell hot dogs and food right over here as well. I might have to go quality check that here in just a second. Here's a look at your planning forecast this evening. High clouds, but no rain here in Fargo Moorhead. Temperatures are in the 70s across most of the region. We're going to stay in the 70s all evening long with most of the cloudiness in the south. We'll drop down into the 60s a little later. For now, live in South Fargo, meteorologist Hutch Johnson back inside to the studio.
All right, Hutch, thanks.
There have been scores of tributes created to remember yesterday's tragedy in Moneta, Virginia, including the Newseum in Washington, D.C., which added a memorial to its halls just hours after that attack. It's not easy making sense of yesterday's tragedy in Virginia. Remembrances and memorials of the journalists who lost their lives doing the jobs they loved are now at the Newseum in Washington. The Newseum erected this memorial to honor the lives of Allison Parker and Adam Ward just hours after their tragic passing. COO of the Newseum Institute, Gene Politskinski, says that these memorials show a side of journalism often forgotten.
It's a very important role for us to have this memorial and to add to it, for the moment, these names and these people, and say this happened, and think about what that means to all of us.
The memorial will stay up for at least several more weeks. The Newseum meets annually to discuss which fallen journalists remain on their memorial wall in perpetuity.
Another sexual assault has been reported in the FM area. Moorhead police tell us that both the male and the female involved have been interviewed and that no one is in custody. The people involved do apparently know each other, and police believe there's no cause for concern for the public. The assault was reported just after midnight, and the case is still under investigation. And if you need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline, 701-237-6576. Leave your tip with us, and a member of our investigative team will get on the case.
After an article last week that Red Lake County was the worst in the nation, the Washington Post reporter who wrote that story toured Red Lake Falls this afternoon.
Christopher Ingram based his article on USDA statistics that showed Red Lake County was the worst in the nation, ranked on climate and scenery. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson shows us how folks there are already changing his mind.
Christopher Ingram's first stop was at the historic Red Lake County Courthouse, where he was greeted by the school's drumline.
Been to Minnesota before?
No, I have not. This is my very first time.
All right. Do you think it's going to be tough to defend the thesis of your article that this is the worst county in America?
Yeah, I think I might have some trouble with that. It was a pretty nice drive out here.
For the next 2 days, folks around here will be showing Ingram scenery like this. They're betting it means more national media attention and tourism gold. Ingram will get the full tour, including a kayak trip down the river, trail rides, farm tours, and a look at surrounding towns.
Oh, we're going to show them how beautiful Red Lake Falls is and why it's a nice place to live.
Okay. Think it's going to be tough for him to defend his thesis that this is the worst county in America?
I think so. Everyone that comes here, tubing, camping, loves it. So
I think you're going to get a few thousand free dollars worth of the tourism advertising out of it.
That's what we're hoping for. You know, we're already kind of planning, to try to do some stuff for the county here or whatever. So hopefully we can get some people in here.
It appears Christopher Ingram's opinion of Red Lake County is already changing just as his tour begins.
Might even call it beautiful. I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah.
So after your tour is done in the next 2 days, I mean, do you plan an article on this again? Looks like here.
It's going to be a follow-up. I'm taking all sorts of pictures, hopefully talk to all sorts of people. So yeah, I'm going to take this back to DC and take another look at the data.
From Red Lake Falls, Minnesota, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
And at this hour, Ingram is at TJ's Sports Bar in Red Lake Falls for a meet and greet, happy hour, and a little dinner.
Good news tonight for those who love to eat turkey. The dire predictions of high-priced birds are not likely to happen. The recovery for the turkey industry hit an avian flu influenza, or the bird flu as it's more commonly called, is at the top of the agenda for the North Dakota Turkey Federation. Producers who had flocks wiped out by the bird flu should recover quickly. The flu, or exposure to it, resulted in some 45 million birds destroyed in 15 states.
He spends his summers cleaning up North Moorhead neighborhoods. But what's even more special about Joe Vodney is that he works with his broom and shovel, all from a wheelchair. A neighbor let us know about Joe's hard, great work, and we caught up with him today. He says he has been cleaning up the gutters and picking weeds for 6 weeks now. He's done 2 church parking lots and the lot at Habitat for Humanity Restore. He's also cleaned up several blocks of 4th Avenue North in Moorhead and a few blocks along 13th Street. Now, he is wheelchair bound and tells us he's in severe pain most of the time because of his multiple sclerosis. But Joe says it's fun work that helps take his mind off of all of his pain.
Yes, it does. And it makes me feel good because I can look back and see that something's been accomplished. The street sweeper doesn't pick up the fine sand and it doesn't pull weeds. So I'm helping that out.
Wow, Joe says that he'll keep at it as long as the weather is nice, adding a big thanks to everyone who brought him some water and snacks, and a big thanks to him as well.
Whether you like mashed, baked, or fried, potato lovers will be gathering for Potato Days before we know it. The event kicks off tomorrow in Barnesville, Minnesota, and we would love to meet you. The Valley News team will be there from 11 to 1. That's 11 in the morning to 1 p.m. Potato Days goes through Saturday.
Hash browns, what about that?
Not too bad. Potato sausage is not bad either.
Yes,
I've had that.
this is true. Well, later at 6, kids are back in school in Fargo. We're going to have the opening day enrollment.
And coming up next, live from the big party out here in South Fargo, it's the Bison kickoff to the season. We'll have your forecast, which also looks hot, coming up right after this.